Now, a very big part of the conversation tonight is Canada's own national security. Some reports suggest one of the attackers posed as a refugee to get into Europe from Syria. That has a lot of Canadians questioning Ottawa's pledge to bring in 25,000 refugees in the next 45 days. Stefan Keys reports.
These sounds and images, enough to make many Canadians rethink how open their arms are going to be to refugees.
It's the number one priority.
Security being flagged by the Saskatchewan Premier after the attacks in Paris renew concerns. The new Liberal government made a commitment to fast-track an influx of 25,000 Syrian refugees by December 31st. There are now calls to slow down in spite of Canada's experience with big intakes.
But none of those intakes of refugees have been driven by a deadline, by a date. None of them have been driven by a quota.
I thought it was perfectly reasonable, except his conclusion was that the only way to do this is to slow down the process. I would argue the right way to do this is to get the right screening in place.
Opinionated politicians disagreeing on how to help. Still, most agree help must be offered.
Mr. Speaker, bringing refugees to Canada must be done in a safe and secure way that protects Alberta families as well as those fleeing violence.
We indicated very clearly that Canada is resolute in doing its part in the fight against terrorism, in the fight against ISIL.
But Canada's part may require some more thought. Right now, the vision isn't clear for some of the organizations responsible for transitioning refugees in. Aside from security, there is the enormous issue of settlement.
Calgary gets about 1,000 refugees every year, so this is happening on a regular basis. There's amazing community support around that. We are doing that, but we are being told that we may get what we do in 2 years in 6 weeks.
Sit down, please.
Housing is scarce. How much extra money will be offered to put them up, not quite disclosed. Yet for those with Syrian ancestry, the ability to help is at the country's fingertips.
When you're spreading out love, I don't think that's going to cause terrorism. I think spreading out hate is what causes terrorism.
A plea to not let acts of terror trump acts of kindness. Stefan Keys, Global News.